I learned that from. Sometimes I learned from him, and we were so like, we did fight a lot actually, and the truth is, for most of my life, my memorable life, I didn't really have a great relationship with my father, much of a relationship, but like I said, so much of myself is him. And I just started to see that so much more and more as I grew older. We didn't talk so much, especially after in high school, and when we did talk, we used to fight a lot. And being the last child, it's really just us in the house, mostly, and I didn't have my brothers there at the time. And it was hard. Recently, especially, this past summer, and I'm 20 now, having moved out and moved into my apartment and being on my own, I started to see him so much everywhere I looked and everywhere I was. And I looked in the mirror and I only saw his face, really, and I was like, I look just like my dad. I'm turning into him. It was that made me realize, what it was to be him, what it was to be my father, as I just felt more and more of him every day. It wasn't the longest time, it was more recent than not, but I started to reach out to my father again, just this summer, and then so much, everything that I went through in that time, and everything that I felt every time my hopes were down, and every time I felt heavy, I would just smile, and I thought of my father, and I just thought, at least I still have my dad. It was not the most complex emotion, it was the simplest thing imaginable. It was the simplest joy imaginable. And it needed no explanation and no elaboration. I sat time and time again every day, and I just thought, at least I still have my dad. I still have my dad. I thought, if after years of hurt or pain, that I could still have such a profound and deep love, that there was truly, truly nothing that could stop me, and there was truly nothing that could bring me down. I wrote, after my father passed, who now will be my hope? The thing is, I'm a writer, if you don't know me. Despite everything, for as long as I can remember, and as long as I've been writing, my dad really has been my muse, and he's in everything that I write. And even when we had tough times and a difficult relationship, I always held on to hope. No matter what, he was always my hope, and I always hoped that there would come a day where I would look at him and just smile. And that day did come. So after he passed, I asked again, who now will be my hope? But the thing is, like I said, so much of my father is myself, so much of myself is my father. And I know that he lives on his son so much more.
Yes, he does.
So that's the answer to the question. You know, he's still my hope, and he's still here.
Amen.
He's still with me.
Yes, he is.
And he's still with me, and he's still with all of us. And hope is alive.
That's right. Amen.
Hope is alive. With that, I say,
I'm going to.
thank you, Dad. I love you so much, and I love you more than you can imagine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he knows.
I love you more than you could ever know.
He knows.
Thank you.
I'm not going to do a one word here, but I have more to say before I call up Charmaine. As I listened to Samuel, Jacob, and Daniel, I realized I must reflect on three things. And this is particularly a message for my nephews. Number one thing, three things, if I were to write on three things, I would. The first thing is, I think all of us realize and understand and speak truth to this. There is no other human being that can exist in anyone's life that wants you to do better for their father.
That's
That's
right.
one.
Yes.
The second